drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
Hello and welcome to Edupedia World.
Hello, welcome to SAP UI5 training session. In this training session, we'll be seeing a SAP.m.list control. We have seen grouping, growing list, footer with deletion and etc. And we have a loading indication. So whenever it loads, you can have a busy indicator like this. So you can have a loading indication. So you can, now by default we are setting it for the 1 second loading. See, loading symbol. See, loading like this, like this. So you can refresh this with the loading symbol. How are you going to place a loading symbol? Is an indication. You have to give enable busy indicator true, and busy indicator you have to give 100, and then you have to place an icon refresh in the toolbar, the list only. Then this is how you're gonna add. So you have to go here and you have to go to a view.xml. Inside this you have to remove the growing list. So this growing list, Control Shift C. So this growing list you have to remove, and then you can use refresh. And inside this we have to add header. And save. And this enable has given attribute image is already specified in the list. So we have already specified. There's a beauty of XML. It already checks. We have already included. So now after this we have to set a toolbar inside this toolbar, where you want to have a toolbar, want to have a refresh, label products, and then refresh, and then save it, and I'm going to delete this, save it, and products, because already I've placed an header text, and instead of this header text I can do like this. So no need of this header text here. I'm going to save, and the button refresh, and refresh data from the backend is a function. So we need to write the function over in the controller. So comma separated, we do function, and we'll have this OEVG, and I'm going to save. And I'm going to copy this mock server. So mock server has some sample things. So it acts as a mock.json. So that's okay. So we just want to have a delay. That's it. You want to press a delay. That's okay. You don't want to do anything. That's a mock server. You don't have to worry about the mock server right now, because anyways when your real-time examples, you'll only see your real-time examples, you'll be seeing only a backend server, whatever the backend server, or else you'll be having any model. So this model will be very faster, product.json. If you're a backend system, then you can refresh the data from your backend system. So you can call the backend server and refresh the data. That's how you do. So just we have to use this trigger. I'm going to place alert here. Refresh. refresh trigger. That's it. And I'm going to save this. I'm going here and I'm going to refresh this. And I'm going to check with this. Yeah, refresh it. Once I do, refresh is triggered. That's it. When you do any operation, you can do operation here. And you can refresh the data. Simple way of doing it. So even similarly, we have a navigation indication. So once we click any navigation, okay, so you can see this doesn't have any navigation, so you don't want to put. So you want to put only for these two items and you don't want to put for the third item. How are you going to do it? Hide it. So you have to hide it manually. So you type navigation. If you don't include this type navigation for the third item, that's fine. So manually you have to do it. Manually you have to do it. So inside your logic, you have to run a for loop and make sure that this gets to whatever row it is, it gets type navigation false. Okay, you have to remove this text. Set type false. That's how you're going to do. Clear? If you don't want to include navigation for that particular item, you can do it. There is no data indication text. Means there will come no data product form. That you have to give with the text here. Inside this C. No data text. Whatever the text you give, when data is not there, it gives you this text. Okay. That is indicated. And the next is selection. This is one of the important things. So you want to have a single select or multi-select or left select, etc. So once you get collection, see this is multi-select. And next is no selection, means normal. Normal. This is normal. You are not selecting it. See, there is no selection. Single select will give you a radio button towards your right. And when you say single selection left, the radio button comes towards your left side. See, radio button like this. And single selection master. So single selection master is see how this is coming. It is highlighted the text. Single selection master and single no selection have a difference. See, it is not highlighted. There is no selection. Single selection master will select as a see like this. Single selection and single selection master difference will be radio button. See this radio button and master will act as a master data. Now I don't have any radio buttons. And then multi-selection. So there is single selection left, single selection is right, left, master, multi-select. Here you have multi-select. This is more important. So how you have when to use multi-select, when to use single select, when to use single select left, when to use single selection master. This you have to make sure. Depending on your requirement, you can use this type of selection. So we'll have a similar type of selection in our application now. So how you're going to do this is we'll be going to here and we're going to reroute this to solid. Solid. I'm going to save, and in this header I'm going to include that radio button drop down list. So how are we going to do it? See, this is a drop down list and I'm going to select. I'm going to use this instead of this refresh button, and here we'll have a list controller handle select change. It's two things we have to include in the header. So toolbar, I'm bringing this button instead of this button. I'm going to next I'm going to add selection. So no selection, single select, like this. Depending on this key, I'm going to change the type of this list item. So in the controller, what I have to do, handle select change. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here. And I'm going to give a comma separate. So what I'm doing is I'm getting the mode of this selected item, and this mode will be multi-select, single select, or whatever it is, and then I'm adding it to the ID, product list ID, and setting the mode. So directly you can write the mode here for this list. You can directly add the mode like this. Mode like this you can add, or you can do set like that. So we'll see the two ways also. That's not a problem. To this list we have to give an ID. So which ID you have to give? We'll go here. See, he has given an ID like this. You have to give ID like this. So by using ID, we are changing the behavior of that. So it's going to save, started, and we'll go to this list, and I'm going to refresh. Once I refresh, this becomes solid. See, it's come. So by default it is no selection. See, navigation true. We have placed a navigation true. And now single select will give you this, and then multi-select left, it gives you the left, and then single select master gives you normal, will give you this without any radio button. But when you say single selection, it gives you the radio button. Okay, then multi-select, you can have multiple select. So how this is happening is, once you change this toolbar, it is going to this particular function called handle select change. Then whatever the values you have given here, we will go to select first. In this select, what you have done is selected key. By default it is multi-select. Okay, you can have this, and whenever you change the value in the select list, the key will be set. So we have 1 2 3 4 5. One is no selection, that means none. Single selection, that means single select. Single selection left, that means single select left. And single select master, then single select master. And multi-select, like this. You can use this way, or you can directly write mode also. That we'll see later. We'll be using this. So once I select any of this key item, then it will go to this handle select change. Now, and we'll get the key of this. So depending on this key, we are assigning it. So first, when I go here and change single select, it will come to here, and the mode will be multi-selection. Single select. So I have clicked single select, and then the mode will be set into single select now. See, single select, like this. Or you don't want to give like this, you want to handle like this. By default only you want to have a single selection. So you can directly go here, and here you can write mode. There's a property called mode equal to single select. You can have. Okay, there is no selection now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh this page, and then it will come to single select by default. See, single select. Okay, you can give like that, or you can handle it by like this. Okay, there's a two way of doing. Either you directly give, or depending on this user selection, the list will be updated. So I'm going to save this. So we'll go to the list view again. So this way of selection. And if you want to have a selection and search, depending on the key, you can have to put a search field, and in that search field we have to give a text, and that text will be useful. See here, search. So we have to use a search bar like we do a list search. That type you have to do, and you have to write whatever you come across with, and you can use that. So I want to search something. There's a live change event. So I want to use a multi-select. There should be a search field. Live change, and on search, it will go to this on search event in the list view. On search, and you're getting a query, and you are filtering that and updating the list like this. Binding filter, and in the application you are doing it. You are giving a binding filter name that is called application over here. We'll see this search now. Search is also important because there might be 10,000 records. So you want to search your record out of 10,000. Then this search option will come. Selection search. So this first, so yeah, so I know which name I will be using it. That is on search. I will be using it, and I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go here in this list. First toolbar, I have to place search field. Page, to the page, I'm doing this. So we'll go here, and we'll go to the same, right? So in that is select, we'll be using search. Instead of this, we'll be using search. Okay, and in this, whatever you do, you don't want to give any width as of now. Edit take auto width, and then I'm going to refresh this. Once I refresh, yeah, this is a search. So whenever I search, this will be they should update. We go there, and now width will be 50%, and I'm going to see the change in the UI now. It's at 50%, so it should be 50% now. See, 50%. That's fine, and this search will be doing. Now, once I do anything, it has to go to this particular on search event. So on search event will be in M-list. So inside this list, we have something called A filters. So this is query is passed to this get sources get value, and after this the model filter is applied to which model, that is ID list. ID list. It is not ID list, it is product list we have used. Okay, the name is should use product list. Save it. Okay, then we're getting items and we're applying filters to it. Simple. Now I'm going to refresh this with the empty cache so that if there are anything, it will go off. So it's still loading. So once it is loaded, you can use. Now I want to search a flat medium. So I do it flat. F-L-A-T. Sorry. Okay, I'm going here and using flat. So the cursor is always going towards the right. Once you type, the cursor is going towards your right. Why is that? We will be seeing it in here. So if you want to use this application, save it. I'm going to do it. So once I refresh, so data will be updated now. Yeah, now I can search now. Okay. GLAD. Okay, once I cancel it, the list will be updated. Okay, this is how we'll be using search. So simple, you have to include a search field, and inside this search field, we have to write a live change event. So whenever you type, it will be changed. Or else if you want to have an enter, then that time you have to use only change. Only change. So that's the difference between change and live change. So live change work as Google like search. So whenever you have it in Google, so Google like search works like this. So whenever you type something like this, Google like search, you delete it like this. So this is like Google like search. So live change event. Okay, it's always good to use live change event depending on it. You want to make a changes after having the word, then you can have it. Okay, depends on your requirement. So this is how the search is. So there are so many ways we can play around with. So still now we have covered 10, and the next one is selection. Search is over. Now we have swipe. So when we swipe the control, so the swipe control works in only in mobiles. If you want to swipe or something, that time it works. So how do we open this application in mobile now? So we'll go here and I press F12, and then inside this F12 we have a mobile device, and we're going to refresh this page. With mobile Apple 5. So I'm going to increase the size so that it will be clearly visible for us. So it's still loading. Swipe. Yeah, this is swipe. So you want to swipe it. See, swipe, delete item. Swipe it, delete item. Swipe it, swipe, delete item. Swipe, swipe. See, swipe it, swipe left, swipe, 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 yeah, swipe, delete it. Like this, if you want to do, you can do it. So here swipe doesn't work because it's a desktop. Okay, I'm going to refresh this. Once I refresh, we'll come back to normal. So how are you going to have this swipe? The swipe is only for the devices, mobile devices and swipe devices. So how are we going to do with this swipe content? We have to place. So when you swipe, what content you want to place, you can place it here. Here I want to place a button which is rejected button with text delete item, and we're going to handle it in a handle reject. So what we'll do in handle reject, just we'll be removing that particular item. See, which course we're just removing that. Okay, so suppose if you want to use swipe in your mobile devices, any swipe devices, that time you have to use swipe content, the aggregation called swipe content. After swiping, you want to remove that to it. So where you have to place this swipe content, you have to place after standard list item. Means in our code, you go to XML. So here, after this standard, here, after this, you have to place your swipe content. Here, swipe content. You have to place like this. Interval. And your controls goes whatever you want to make, you can do it inside this. So next, we'll go here list. So we are still in swipe content. Yeah. Then we have to have a header and info. So we have a footer. Now we'll see a header. See, this is an info. So if you want to place something like this, you can. Suppose if you want to have a select and you want to select like 2 items selected, 3 items selected, that time you can have this header info. So how you will be getting a header info? In the source code, you will have a header toolbar. Inside toolbar, you can place this, and info toolbar is this. So there are 2 things. This is header info, products we have seen, and then the items, like in these items we have placed refresh, search, etc. So like this we have placed, and info bar comes here. So if you have selected 3 or 4 items, so that those items will be displayed here. If you want to display, you can display it here. Information you want to give to the user in the header. So this is how you're gonna do. You can use this code and try by yourself. And even unread indication. So how you gonna have unread indication? See, active, inactive, read, unread, like this. Okay. So how you gonna place this? You have to place it in the show code. See, unread, true, or unread, false. So in this standard list item, you want to use this property unread true or unread false. Unread true. So I'm going to have a true inside this. I'm going to save this, and I'll be going and I'll be refreshing this content over here, and I'm going to see whether my navigation items are true. Yeah, see, unread true. That is an active. So when I say unread false, then this all should be enabled. I'm going to unread false. I'm going to save. and I'm going to refresh this. So once I refresh, see, I'm going to remove. So in this format, what I have done, it is less than 0.5, written that value. So once the value comes, list unread, it is true or false, it will return. So here the value will be the true or false. So you have to include this also, icon density false and icon inset also false. Icon inset, so false. By default 100 is false. I'm saying true here. I'm going to refresh this content. Get to see that. Now I'm going to see. I want to see with false. We'll see the difference now. I'm going to refresh this. This is an active mode. That's the reason it is not displaying. I'm going to empty the cache and run it again. Once I run, it displays 100 false, and then 100 true. We're gonna try, and with empty cache, empty this cache and hide. Let's see. So do, and the data will be refreshed. Yeah, see the difference. This is in the bold thing which we are hiding it. So inspect element, go here. See the color is black, font size is this much. Wrap text, display block. These are all the CSS properties which have been assigned to this. There's one property which is overriding, its title, icon, unread, awareness, type, counter. Here we have given enable true, so we'll go there. So description, icon density, standard, unread, true or false we are giving. So based on this, going in the list formatter, list, yeah, see here show unread true. We have to include in the rest list also. If we didn't include this, so we have to include in the list, show unread true. So you can handle it here. If it is wanted true or false, you can show unread first. Yeah, that's the reason. Yeah, by default, come to the cache and this one. So by default, show unread is true. Now I want to make it to the false. I want to change it to false now, so that this data will be not in bold, should be in the normal text. Yes. Okay. See, show unread true. So this text is even bold size. Have you seen? This is how. So how you're gonna do it? You have to include it in the list show unread true, and in the list item also you can, by default it is true, and if it is once read, you can make it to false. So this is how you have to navigate it. So items show unread true, and here show unread true or false. You have to do it. So depending on your requirement, this is how we're gonna do it for the read and unread indication. So read and unread. So like this we can have a differentiation. So these are the 14 types of list. Now hope this is clear. This is an important control in SAP UI5, and inside SAP UI5 M controls. Whenever we are using a mobile controls, this information is very important, and this control is very important. So there are 14 different types, and we have seen each type how the list works, and we have used a list separate thing. Once we have used a counter indicator, how many items you want to place, so you can place with a counter towards your right, and if you want to delete any entry, any list item, you can delete it. And if you want to add footer to this list, you can group this based on the store and products, you can do it. And a growing list, once you load five items, every time you want to load 5 items, that time growing list will be used. It will be very useful when you have more than some amount limit, like if you have 20,000 30,000 data and you want to show it all at once, you want to load every 10 items per click, that time you can use this growing list, or 100 items per click, you can do it. And type, there are different types: standard, single cell, standard, and etc. list types. So see, active, inactive, navigation, detail, like this. These are the types are available. And then we have a loading indication. You want to load it, you want to refresh the data, you can have it do by using the refresh button. And then we have a navigation indication. If you want to navigate from one list item to the second list item, that also it is possible. And when the no data is available, you want to display some text, it's your predefined text, you can do it. And the list selection, the selection options are 4 types: single select, multi select, single select master, single select left, etc. By default it is none, and you can use any 4 of this. And the next is search. You can search based on your input, like it is a Google like search is implemented in this list control. Like whenever you type, it will be like live change. It's a Google like search. And you can swipe it when you use this list in any mobile device and you want to swipe it, and you want to do, or you want to place any content, or you want to do some operations based on the swipe, you can have the swipe content. When you swipe it, it will know you have swiped it, then it will display those content. And even the same way, you can have a header and footer options. And in the header, you have 2 options. One is header content and one is info. Suppose if you have selected 4 items and you want to display that info in the info header, you can do it. And you want to place search, refresh button anywhere, you can do it in the header part. And next is, there might be a 10 list items, and in that 10 list items, a user have read only 5. That also you can be handled inside this list control. So this is all about list, and thanks for listening. And in the next session, we'll be seeing other topics of SAP UI5.
Thank you for watching Edupedia World. Stay tuned for more videos.